See, I wish I could wear my glasses when I have my ring light on, just so that I don't look like a weird futuristic dude. I take off my f***ing glasses. So, I am wearing the same shirt that I wore in my Why I've Been Gone video. I just posted, what's the date today? June 17th. So I don't know when this video will go up. Maybe I'll put it up next week. I don't know. But today I just want to talk about all the films and shows that I watched. And so I watched actually quite a bit of films and shows. Even though I said a crap ton, it's really like a handful. I'm going to get the TV shows out of the way, so let's start with that. I watched all 6 seasons of The Nanny, which of course stars, Fran Drescher as Nanny Fine. She was working at a bridal shop, blushing queens, until her boyfriend kicked her out in one of those crushing scenes. The amount of times they repeat that in the show, aside from the opening theme, was ridiculous. I really enjoyed the series. I forgot how funny some of the lines are from Fran. But in season 6, I don't know if this happens to you guys, but it happens to me. When the main character gets together with the other main character, I don't know, it just feels like the show's different now. Like, I don't know if you guys watched Bones or Castle. Like, for Bones, when Booth and Bones got together, it just felt like a different show to me. And Castle, when Castle and Beckett got together, I don't know, I like Max and Fran together, but it just felt weird, Niles is my favorite. I love Niles. Cece got on my nerves. I did not like any of the kids, maybe except for Gracie. I actually sympathize with Gracie a lot. I really did love this show. Although Fran's fashion, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Other show that I watched was Friends. All 10 seasons of Friends. I committed to Friends. I watched it on HBO Max. I mean, I did watch like some bits and pieces when it was on like reruns on TBS. Like, I never thought I would like watch the show from the beginning. And I never really knew what happened in the 10 seasons of the show. All I keep hearing that Ross is like the best, and him with Rachel are the best, and Chandler Bing is the greatest character, and Phoebe's annoying. So I'm like, oh, you know what? Fine. The Friends reunion was coming out, so I might as well just watch the sitcom, right? I watched 10 seasons, and I really do like the show. I do. I have some really unpopular opinions about Friends. I may do a separate video about that, but for right now, my favorite character is Phoebe. I love Phoebe Buffet. Some of her lines are just hysterical. And Lisa Kudrow. If you guys don't watch the bloopers of Friends, her laugh is like the most contagious thing on the face of this planet. I love Joey Tribbiani. I can't be roommates with Monica Geller. I can't. I have a soft spot for Ross, although he makes me mad a lot of the times. Rachel makes me mad as well. Chandler, I really do not like Chandler. I'm sorry. I don't like him at all. And I'm going to state this. I don't understand Ross and Rachel together. I really don't. I don't get it. And I don't get Chandler and Monica together. Do not understand Ross and Rachel or Chandler and Monica. I don't. I'm going to be honest. I prefer Joey and Rachel. Sorry. But the lines in the show are funny. Although, just the constant back and forth of like, we were on a break. I'm like, no. For me, we are either broken up or we're together. There's no break. Out of all the final seasons of any sitcom or TV show, I guess, this one had one of the better ones because there was actually closure by the end of the series. An extension of Friends, I watched Friends Reunion. The Reunion. First of all, everybody looked great. Everybody looked awesome. I got really kind of emotional when David Schwimmer and Lisa Kudrow, Jennifer Aniston, Matt LeBlanc, Matthew Perry, Courtney Cox all came back on set, and they were in the apartments and the cafe. It was just really emotional because they spent a lot of their lives on the set of Friends, and it was really nice to see that. There were some revealing secrets, and some really behind the scenes look that I really like behind the scenes looks of shows and films. The behind the scenes look of Friends was actually really fun to watch, and the journey of casting Monica and Rachel, Ross, Phoebe, Joey and Chandler was was also really fun. I have a great respect for casting directors because they had to see a lot of people and turn down a lot of people. And I think seeing the impact of Friends, you can like Friends, you can hate Friends, you cannot deny the fact that Friends was this huge phenomenon. That and Living Single, Martin, Cosby Show, these shows were revolutionary. And yeah, Friends was an all-white cast, but even though these characters were white, there's still something in these characters that everybody of every race can identify with. This show means a lot to a lot of people. Not in a sarcastic way, but in like a meaningful way. Like maybe the show got them through a really bad time. Just like any other show or film or book, really. And then the last show I actually watched was actually a rewatch. I'm currently in like season 3, I think. It's Power. Just so I can prepare myself for Power Book 2, Ghost. I really, really love Power. It's like a Sons of Anarchy kind of thing, and I love Sons of Anarchy, and Power is amazing. Omari Hardwick, great actor. Now onto the films. These are not really listed in, you know, the chronologically order, I don't think. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Okay, so let's just begin with the first film. Army of the Dead, which is on Netflix. This was directed by Zack Snyder, and yes, it is a Snyder cut. Right off the bat, I do not like zombie films. I don't. I like a certain... unpopular opinion, I really like the Resident Evil films. I liked some of like the bigger zombie films. Like, I did not like World War Z. I'm just gonna put it out there. I do not like that one. Although the zombies in that one were kind of terrifying. The other one, what was the other? Zack Snyder did one. Dawn of the Dead. That one I had a hard time watching because it's just so gruesome. But like a majority of the zombie films I don't like because they're so generic a lot of the times, in my opinion. And I couldn't get into Walking Dead. But Army of the Dead is my favorite zombie film of the ones that I watched. It was just so funny. They knew their genre, and they were not taking it seriously at all. And they were just having fun with it. And I think that's the charm of it. I just think that the action was great, the story was great, the actors are awesome, the diverse casting is amazing as well. I really think that, you guys know how much I love the Zack Snyder films. I think his films are stronger when they're streaming. I mean, look at his Justice League film. A lot of people love that one, including me. I love that one. Army of the Dead, you guys know I don't follow Rotten Tomatoes, but when I clicked on Army of the Dead to see, you know, if they were going to make a sequel, it came up with the Rotten Tomatoes score, and it was like 71%. I'm like, hey, better than being rotten. I don't get Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's dumb. But anyways, but I highly recommend this one. This one was just really, really fun. There are some emotional moments in it too, and the zombie tiger was so cool. So cool. This one's a 4.5 out of 5. And then the next one is Those Who Wish Me Dead. This one is an Angelina Jolie film. She plays a fire ranger. She's in the fire watchtower, I think is what it's called. And she sees a boy stumbling through the forest, and he's covered in blood, and it's father's blood, and he's on the run because these men killed his father for reasons we won't know. For reasons we don't know. I'm going to be completely honest, you guys. I did not understand this film. I give it a 3 out of 5 because the first 3/4 of the film was exhilarating. It was really fun to watch. Angelina Jolie's performance is amazing. I think the forest fire aspect of it was really saddening and scary because she's dealing with PTSD because she saw a family die in fire and she couldn't save them. But by the end, that for me, that's where the plot kind of crumbles. I just didn't understand, and there was a lot that was not resolved. And also, Tyler Perry is in the film for 30 seconds. You don't put somebody as big as Tyler Perry in a film for 5 seconds or 5 minutes, 30 whatever, and then he's just gone. We don't see him again. While this is a good, okay film, it was just not the best. And I just did not. So far, this is my least favorite HBO Max film. Alright, then I actually rewatched all the Conjuring films. Because Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It was coming out. So I'll start with The Conjuring. So The Conjuring follows the Warrens, Ed and Lorraine, and their demon investigator or paranormal investigators. This one is terrifying. I did not watch this one in theaters because I just don't like horror films in theaters. I can't do it. But I really did enjoy The Conjuring. Then we had the first Annabelle, and I hate this one. It wasn't scary to me. It took a long time to get the scary aspect, and it just wasn't worth it by the end of it for me. I didn't like the acting. I just felt like it was sort of a weird entry into the series. Like when the doll first premiered, well, it was actually the first scene in The Conjuring, I think everybody really was interested in this mother doll. And this one just wasn't, this one fell flat for me. Next is The Conjuring 2. And The Conjuring 2 is set in London, and this young girl haunted by this old man spirit living in their house. And this is also the first film in which we see Valak, the nun. This one was also really good. I still prefer the first one. This one was terrifying, just because of all the hinting at the nun throughout the film. And Valak, Valak is, she's terrifying. Vera Farmiga's performance as Lorraine Warren is fabulous, and Patrick Wilson's performance as Ed is just as amazing. Then we get to the Annabelle creation film, which is a prequel, and so this one takes place at this orphanage, and it tells the story of how the doll was created. This is my favorite of the three Annabelles, just because it's so creepy and also really sad, but also really creative. It was really, and the young girls in the film are really talented. They're going places. That doll just needs to go. They made the doll creepy for the film, because in the real life she's just like a Raggedy Ann doll. In the film she's like this creepy porcelain doll. No thanks. We have The Nun, which is a prequel to The Conjuring, and this tells the story of Valak's I guess her origin story. And this one follows Sister Irene, who is played by Vera Farmiga's real life sister Thaisa, who played Zoe on American Horror Story Coven, and a bunch of other roles in that series, and also the voice of Raven from the recent Teen Titans cartoon films. I like this one. I did. I think this one was terrifying, and I really appreciate this one because a lot of the horror films, when they try to be scary, they add a lot of CGI to make it scary, and for me it's just like, nah, The practical effects in this are amazing. Like the scene where the nun is like coming out of the water and she's just staring at the camera. First of all, the actress Bonnie Aarons has this otherworldly beauty, and she just kills it as the nun. She's awesome as the nun. I just didn't really like this one as much as the other ones, unfortunately, but I think that the origins of Valak was really interesting to learn about. Then we get to my least favorite of the Conjuring films. That was The Curse of La Llorona. La Llorona, sorry. Or The Curse of the Weeping Woman, as most titles have it in different countries. This one, of course, follows the Spanish folklore of La Llorona. I'm sorry, I'm really not trying to butcher this on purpose. I really want to try and pronounce this. I'm just going to say the Weeping Woman, okay? So the Weeping Woman, there's a lot of different backstories. From what I understand, like the film has a different backstory in the folklore. That's what I've been told. But this one follows a social worker who has 2 kids of her own. And she's battling this weeping woman. I did not like this one, because this one did not feel like a Conjuring film. There's a deleted scene where the priest from The Conjuring is talking to the mom, and he talks about the Warrens, and I'm like, you could have left that in, because that would have made it make more sense why it's a Conjuring universe film, but it's not, and it didn't feel like it to me, and I don't like this one. I think the folklore could have been handled a little bit better. Although she is scary though. I think the makeup is actually pretty awesome. Jump scares were actually really well done, but I don't know. Just wasn't really impressed with this one, unfortunately. Then we get to the Annabelle Comes Home film, which follows their daughter Judy and her babysitter, and her babysitter's friend. This one made me mad because her friend was dumb. You don't go into the Warrens' room of the haunted artifacts and start touching everything. You are the definition of dumb white girl in a horror film. So everything that happened in this film is on her. They say It's okay. It's not your fault. Bitch, it is your fault. It is your fault. You touched everything. You woke up the doll. You have... I'm surprised that Valak didn't come back from the dead and start haunting y'all's asses. I really did like this one. I did. I really loved the ferryman. Ooh, the ferryman's giving me some nightmares. Woo! The ferryman just scares the hell out of me. We get to the recent Conjuring film, and that is Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, which follows the Arnie Johnson case, in which it was the first recorded first recorded case where demonic possession was used in a murder. This one's my favorite out of the 3 Conjuring films, just because of how different it felt from the other 2. I really love this one. I love that we also explore more of Ed and Lorraine's relationship. I really cannot wait to see what the 4th one has, if there is going to be a 4th one. Because there's a lot of cases that they could cover. There's a lot of things in that room that I would like a prequel I want a prequel to their first case. I really did enjoy this one. I love this one. This film actually had me very emotional just because of how much Ed cares for Lorraine and Lorraine cares for Ed. And like I said, this was also the first Conjuring titled film where James Wan was not in the director's seat. Then the next one is The Woman in the Window, which stars Amy Adams, Gary Oldman, Julianne Moore, Anthony Mackie. Sorry, I don't like Anthony Mackie. This one's like a girl on the train kind of thing, meets Rear Window. Amy Adams plays the psychologist who has agoraphobia from an incident, and she so basically she has a fear of going outside, and then she sees something across the street from this new family that moved in, and she sees something but she can't prove if it was real or not. This film took a direction I didn't want it to take, but it did. There's a lot of things I found kind of unrealistic about it, and I do have the book though. It's somewhere. Oh, it's right here. Do you want to read the book to see how different it is from the film? I think the performance, I think this is Amy Adams' best roles. I think out of all the roles that she has done, she does an amazing job of like immersing herself into the characters. Like Lois Lane, she was an amazing Lois Lane. Enchanted, of course. Woman in the Window, I think, is one of her stronger roles. Not necessarily, in my opinion, her strongest film. There were some parts of it that I liked. I understand people have agoraphobia, and I respect it. I don't joke about it. I can't imagine being someone who has agoraphobia. I think Amy Adams' portrayal of someone who does have agoraphobia was really well done. I think that was one of the more realistic aspects. The townhouse that she was in was beautiful. It was a beautiful brownstone. I think the script could have been worked on just a little bit more. And even though I said that Anthony Mackie is in it, he's in it, literally, you guys, it's been out for a minute, so I'll just say it. He's in it for like 5 minutes. That's it. And I was like, oh, thank you, because I don't like Anthony Mackie that much. Sorry, not sorry. I do recommend it for someone who does like Girl on the Train and Rear Window. And, you know, just, if you like it, kudos to you. And I watched Raya and the Last Dragon, and I fucking love this one. This one was so good. And if you guys know me, Zootopia is my favorite animated Disney film in the recent years. This one is Disney's best animated film since Zootopia. This one was so good. The visuals, just the textures on like the water and the clouds and the fur on Sisu, and just the battle sequences, just so well done. Really interesting too. I really love Raya. I kept saying Raya for the longest time, but it's Raya. And I don't really like, Awkwafina, but she played Sisu, and she did a really good job. I love Sisu. I want a Sisu. My friends could have Spyro. I want Sisu. I have such a respect for voice actors. I really do. I always wanted to be kind of a voice actor, but I don't know if I have the voice or the caliber to do it. This one is just a 5 out of 5, 10 out of 5. It was so good. Alright, then the last one that I watched, I did sort of cave and did get the premiere access for Disney Plus, because I waited for Raya. It came out in March. I waited until recently. It came out in June or May or whatever. because I was not going to pay no $30 for a streaming service to watch a film. But anyways, I caved because I wanted to watch this one, and that was Cruella. I think out of all the recent live-action remakes of, you know, cartoon or of the Disney films, I think this one's one of the better ones. My favorite is Aladdin and Maleficent, but Cruella I did really like. Emma Stone's portrayal of Cruella is fabulous. It's like if Harley Quinn was Joker in the Joaquin Phoenix Joker film. And you know, a lot of Cruella's outfits looked very Harley Quinn-y, but it was just so well done. It did connect Cruella's backstory to the 101 Dalmatians you know, film. I really did enjoy this one. Her accent is perfect. Her backstory was actually really well written. She is crazy. She is crazy. And Emma Stone did a really great job. The soundtrack is bopping, I'm not gonna lie. I do recommend this one though, but this one's not my favorite. Like I said, Maleficent and Aladdin are my favorite Disney live action films. So those are the films that I watched over my break. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's very long, I'm sorry. And I hope you guys, any of you guys have watched any of these films, let me know down below which ones are your favorites. Thumbs up, comment down below. For more content, the subscribe button is right over there, right next to the notification bell, so go ahead and click that. And I'll see everyone soon in my next video. Deuces.